a booth bad crowd.
Pretty soon, we're going to be doing tech, and he's going to be doing this shit.
Yeah.
What?
I'm pretty sure.
He doesn't even read comics. He doesn't know too much tech.
So, speaking of comics, this weekend is Comic-Con.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I'm a little tired of?
What?
Talking about comics. Just a little bit. So let's do a comic book talk.
Did you guys all go to Comic-Con? Who went?
Yeah.
A lot of hands. Hard for us to see hands. That's good.
What did everybody think of who went? Good?
Sweet. Why don't we do some favorite moments?
Oh, favorite moments
Yeah.
from the con?
Yeah.
Justin?
I got to interview Neil Gaiman, and kind of fell in love with him a little bit.
Actually, I was sitting like 2 feet away, and this is Neil Gaiman's like, wait, I'm talking about some interesting stuff with the LDF, but this is Justin.
And I
Pretty
couldn't
much
talk
the entire time.
and I later wrote in my journal. I couldn't tell you. I wouldn't tell you that I wrote in my journal. Neil Gaiman.
I was pretty excited about talking to Jeff Johns. We sat down with him at the end of the day, talked to him, talking,
Wow.
interview him.
For 25 minutes.
25 minutes we're talking with him, and eventually I'm like, all right, let's wrap up the interview. The producer was like, okay, that was great 25 minutes, guys. And I was like, wow, we didn't even get to talk about Superman. And he was like, oh, you want to talk about
He's
Superman?
like, turn the cameras back on.
Turn the cameras back on. We want to talk about Superman.
35 minutes later, Alex fell in love.
I wrote down my Jeff Drew.
I would have to say during one of the Comic Book Club variant stage shows, MC Chris was performing, and everyone had started to crowd around the stage. And while he was doing his Boba Fett song, there were all these people dressed as like Star Wars people, and obviously comic book people. And there was 2 slave Leias housing a predator. And Chewbacca was just like this. And I was like, yes. Thank you. I was like, yes, it's worth it.
Not too many places you'll see that.
No.
Fetish clubs.
We'll see it next year, of course. We missed all of you guys. We're very glad to be back here for Comic Book Club.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming out 2 days later to talk comics again with us. I'm very excited about the guests we have.
Yeah, hell yeah.
We have 2 great guests for you, a comedian and a comic book writer. Ladies and gentlemen, Eliza Skinner and Chris Claremont! Thank you guys so much for coming on the show. We're very excited to have you here. Don't worry, you can't see them.
Ignore them.
It's cool.
Oh wow, noise from the dog.
We installed some sound stuff.
Yeah.
It's cool. Yeah, that's cool. We like to lower everybody's expectations as soon as they get out here. Thank you guys so much for coming on. Chris, I guess we'll start with you. So,
Age before beauty.
Let's start with Eliza. Eliza, what is it like writing New Exiles?
Wow, well, at this point in my career, it's phoning it in.
Hello.
Seriously though, Chris, New Exiles.
I'm sorry, my line is busy.
Tell us a little bit about the book for the people in the audience who maybe aren't reading it. Why is it New Exiles?
Well, it's about 8.5 inches tall by 7 inches wide, and it has a number of separate pages.
Perfect.
Right.
Great sizing.
Now you know why my career has not gone forward.
Yeah.
Why is it New Exiles? Basically because it's a cheap, gratuitous, and altogether willingly silly marketing stuff. It's like we have a new writer, we have a new artist, we have a new team. What can the book's been around for 100 issues. What could we could either do 101, or we could get a rather interesting sales bump from going back to the beginning and starting over. So management got together, put its heads together, and boom, we're starting over again. This way we have nowhere to go but up. We hope.
What brought you particularly to the Exiles then? Other than the size.
Well, I was going to say no return ticket, but that's basically, the idea is that there are no restrictions. You can make up, we have as our setting everything other than the teeny tiny, marginally relevant Marvel universe. We can create any set of worlds, any set of situations, any set of heroes, and essentially in 1 to 4 issues, blow the living. I think it's out of it.
You can swear here?
Oh shit! No. I mean, the challenge and the fun is that we can invent everything. I mean, the first issue we decimated half the world. The second arc we have a world where the British won the Revolutionary War, but lost the Napoleonic War. So 200 years later, the French rule Europe, and the British have retreated to North America, and they're picking up where they left off. We have an arc in the wings where the Wild West never faded away, and did we mention there are Martians? The point is that we can throw in any mix of situations, of characters, of realities. A world perhaps where North America was colonized by the Chinese, where the Indians never relinquished control to the Europeans, where Africa expanded north into Europe, where the Martians did eat everybody. And what you have are the 5 or 6 survivors sitting around kind of going, is it our turn yet? I mean, we have a world where, actually this is the next scenario we're playing with, there are 2 sets of heroes, the Sons of Iron and the Daughters of the Dragon. The Daughters of the Dragon are obviously Misty Colleen and a bunch of incredibly average-looking platinum blondes. And the Sons of Iron are obviously Iron Men, but they're not all human, because this is a world where humanity evolved in parallel with the dinosaurs. So you have sentient dinosaur civilizations, sentient human civilizations, but the whole point of the Sons of Iron is you're not supposed to choose sides, so they all look like pre-Iron men, for want of a better term, but you don't know whether the person wearing it is a human or a dino. So we can, the point is you can make up any scenario you like. You can have Vulcans, you can have, whatever, and run with it and see what happens. So we have a lot more variety, a lot more potential than the regular series. Notice it comes to the age where you're paid by the word.